Hi everyone, thanks for joining today's webinar. My name's Justin Butterworth. I'm the founder and the CEO at Snug, and we're a market-leading leasing platform, and it gives me great pleasure to be presenting this webinar around the future of rental applications with our valued partners Movinghub and Console Cloud. So a little bit of housekeeping. The webinar is being recorded, and please follow the links to gather further information about the webinar at the end of the session. Let's start by setting the scene. Every year across Australia, agents lease around 500,000 rental properties. So you can imagine how much activity this creates in terms of emails, SMSs, and time spent at viewings, as well as kilometres travelled, and overall more than a million rental applications being generated. And in the last 2 years, through COVID, we've seen a dramatic transformation in the rental market in the way that we receive and manage rental applications and actually run through the leasing process. So I can hear you all asking, what is the future of rental applications? Well, in this presentation, we're going to be talking about why rental applications are so important for your business. We're also going to be talking about some of the common problems that agents face. We'll run through 10 key innovations that are driving efficiency and experience. And we'll also take a look at how you can create value within your business. And my co-presenter, Chris from Movinghub, will share with you some key insights around creating value and also an incredible exclusive offer from Movinghub. So let's get started with a little bit of background. So I started my journey as an economist in the short-term rental space, and that little business became part of Fairfax and Expedia. It also inspired Airbnb, being in their original pitch deck. What I learned from that was how key it was to create a seamless customer journey on the way to instant transactions and delightful digital experiences. So we launched Snug in 2017 with a mission to make renting easy. And it's clear that we could see that there was a pain point around and the leasing journey. And when you think about it, over a third of Australia rents. That's more than 2.5 million households. And that's 6 million Australians that are impacted by renting and the rental market and the services that are offered. So it means there's an incredible opportunity for agents within the industry to impact a third of Australia by improving business processes, by delivering better rental application systems and leasing journeys. So let's take a little look at some of the challenges that agencies face. So when we think about a rental application, we're really thinking about the written submission by a prospective tenant to express their desire and their suitability to enter into a lease agreement for a rental property. And usually an application contains identity, so we can confirm who we're dealing with, the names of the other occupants or leaseholders that will be entering into that agreement, income, pay slips, bank statements where permitted and so forth, employment details, and also information about the suitability. So the household group size and type, pets, and important lease agreement information such as proposed start date, as well as rental references and other verification. So most agencies receive applications through the year, but with often in January, February, as households give notice or wish to take up properties at the start of the year. We also see rental applications flowing through not only for new managements, but for relets and tenant transfers. So it's an important and busy part of the agency practice through the year. And these applications are sensitive because they represent home, usually with a lead time of about 2 weeks. but they also contain really sensitive information about the renter and their household, and they vary in quality sometimes because each household is unique in terms of information that they. Potentially the prospect hasn't seen the property. They may be unqualified to that extent. Maybe they don't meet your minimum criteria or haven't submitted. And if you're in some regional areas, you'll see some are absolutely flooded with applications. On some platforms, you may see applicants submitting multiple applications. And because of these issues, some agencies are actually struggling with the quality or the quantity of applications flowing through, and that impacts the business. The other aspect of receiving applications is that each application takes time to review the details and to make a decision whether to progress or decline that application. So selecting a prospective tenant feels like a real balancing act in a complex environment, and it's juggling the speed to lease the property, to reduce vacancy, maximize occupancy, the quality of the tenant to ensure that you're receiving or selecting the right household group, the outcome for the business in terms of the bottom line result, but most importantly, the outcome for your client, your owner, your rental provider. So to achieve this balance, every agency needs a good leasing system to receive applications and to process applications, as well as to prospect and initiate inspections. And a good system can actually save a lot of time, reduce stress in the office, as well as frustration from renters or owners who are anxious to get their property leased. And it also can reduce risk within the business, risk of poor tenant selection, but also risk in terms of data and security. The other aspect of a good leasing system is it can actually drive revenue from not only faster letting fees, but referral commissions and management fees through generating a great outcome. One aspect to consider is a good leasing system can also help you build your business reputation, which drives more new business into your portfolio. So what we're seeing is a very exciting future for rental applications and leasing. And I'd like to talk not only about how far we've come as an industry, but the three main areas of innovation, which is efficiency, experience, and value. And I'd love to run through 10 key areas of innovation, which will really help impact your business in a positive way. So let's start with the streamlined workflow. So when we launched Snug, we could see that the leasing process was complex, it was time pressured, and there was a real opportunity to improve that journey by bringing all of the steps into one platform, from prospecting, inquiry handling, viewings, whether it's open homes or private appointments, receiving the application, running through background checks, whether it was rental referencing or verifying employment, but also the ability to share with your owner or share with a colleague and send out a congratulations email or offer to the successful prospect. The ability to refer your utility connections, mark the property as leased, run through reporting to gather insights for your business, but also connect in via integration into your key systems such as Console Cloud. So we could see that there was a great opportunity to streamline the workflow, and it was the number one innovation that really helped transform the rental application from being just one step as a form to being part of a flow. And when you think about it, when people move, it's usually a really stressful life event. It's a new job, it's a relationship, it might be a new child or growing family. And for an owner, it's vacancy, it's financial security, it's quality of tenants. And what we see is that as we run through this busy leasing journey, we're dealing with human emotion. There's communication, compassion, conflict, resolution, and contracting. So it's important to be able to ease the pressures and have a platform that can help you deliver that service very efficiently. I want to move on to the second very important innovation. We could actually see when we analysed by researching with our prospective customers at the time when we launched, that going through each of the stages of leasing involved significant time and some repetitive tasks. And actually, not only by systemizing, but by automating some of those steps, we could potentially help agencies reduce time by about 85%. And did you know that the Snug platform performs over 60,000 actions per minute? So that's 1,000 per second. So it's phenomenal in terms of the automation that it's delivering for clients across the platform. One of the really interesting aspects of the automation and streamlining was flipping the process to pre-verify. So the traditional process with applications was to hold a viewing, share out an application form, or the renter would head back to the portal to find the form and fill it in. What we could see was, rather than waiting for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to gather the information, we could actually collapse the timeframes and deliver incredible results for agencies and their owners by starting pre-verification from the time of inquiry, so that renters are nurtured by adding their identity, their employment, their rental references. The benefit is when they're checked in at the viewing on the Snug mobile web app, they get the apply link, they can submit their verified application. Talking about mobile, we all spend so much of our day on mobile devices. And when we looked at the personas of people using rental applications, we could see through their journey, prospects were moving from a desktop environment, searching for properties, maybe their phone on the bus, etc. So being able to design the whole rental application experience that's mobile friendly meant it was easier for renters to provide the right information, get started, join in their household members, get notifications about what is required from your agency, and really making it accessible, but also memorable as a mobile-friendly application. I want to move to talk about a really important area, which is data security and privacy. So it's the fourth area of innovation in the space. So you might have seen the billboards when the previous version of the iPhone came out. One of the world's most valuable brands and companies only needed a few words to convey the message. It was all about privacy. And despite all of the features and functions on your phone, the most important thing that was being communicated was the protection of privacy. So that's from a company that spends billions on research and design. And in the space of renting, there's a lot of sensitive information that's captured within a rental application. So SMS, two-factor verification is key, encryption of the data, storage in Australia, automatically auto-withdrawing applications so that those that are declined are not kept open within your application environment. And importantly, on Snug, we actually automatically delete sensitive information and sensitive documents at 60 days. So that means destroying the passport image or the passport number when applicants are not moved on and successful. So it dramatically reduces the data scope, the data retention, and protects your business and your customers. I want to talk a little bit about data scope. So one of the trends that's emerging is that the scope of data is being reduced. And when you think about it, we really need comprehensive information for the one successful applicant. And if you think about that black triangle there, yes, there's a lot of information that we could collect or we will need over the successful applicant, but to test the eligibility, maybe it's a fraction of that information. So we're following and we're leading the innovation around data scope. When's the right time to capture certain information and how extensive should it be given the particular household group characteristics? It's interesting, when we survey renters on the platform and analyse their net promoter score, so their satisfaction of the rental application process, one of the key areas of feedback for those that are not having a positive experience is around the length of the application form. And we're really focused on the critical information that agencies need and the best way to capture it from those parties when it's required to reduce the friction and really create a delightful and data safe experience. So talking about experience, what is experience? Well, experience is the way that customers feel when they take a journey through your product or service. And we can measure it in so many different ways. One is just simply logging calls into the office, whether it's queries or complaints. It might be sending out an engagement survey or looking at open rates for email. It might be running a customer satisfaction benchmarking questionnaire. Maybe you track NPS or look at social reviews. We do all of those things, and it's so critical to your business reputation and your business efficiency and your business growth to ensure that your platform has a great experience. And you know, recently I posted a review over 12 months ago, and you can see the impact. Over 3,000 views of a Google review for a referral for a real estate agency. So it is critical to design an experience and to measure that experience right through the leasing journey, including the good old application form. I want to talk about data and how that can support your decision making. So within the Snug platform, what you'll see is that you have the ability with a visual set of indicators to see the quality and the completeness of household groups as they come through the application flow. You can see that they've viewed the property, or maybe they've submitted an application if you do permit it without viewing the property. You can see the adults and kids and pets, the affordability with the rent income ratio, also the rent and term being requested. And Snug shows the indicators of the identity, income, employment and rental reference that have been pre-verified. And then we sort the applicants with an indicative match score, which helps you across the row, analyse the household and move quickly rather than opening up all the applications that have come through. You're able to compare households and move quickly with your top 1, 2 or 3 applicants. You'll also notice really handy productivity tools like being able to shortlist, message to request more info or invite to a viewing if they haven't already attended, and to move the prospects through the workflow in the application. So it makes it very quick and easy to analyse and process applications. I'd like to talk through the 8th innovation in the rental application space, And that's around customization and collaboration. So every business is different, whether it's your portfolio, whether it's the type of prospects or your owners or rental providers. And even within your business, as we know, it's a dynamic environment. So market conditions do change over time. And being able to select your customized settings is a key aspect of Snug and where we see the future going, where you're able to dynamically and instantly adjust your settings to respond to market conditions and ensure that you're balancing the quality and the quantity of applications coming through your business. Collaboration's a big thing. So many of our clients have team members working in the cloud, whether it's remotely or offshore, or having the flexibility to come into the office or be at home. And so being able to collaborate seamlessly, whether it's through notes on an application, being able to monitor or follow activity, or just being able to assign it to a colleague is key in that collaboration piece. I want to talk about what we're seeing as the results of all of this innovation. We've gone through 8 key innovation trends, and what we can see is the time to lease is dramatically reducing. When we first launched Snug in 2017, we could see that the average time period to mark a property as leased was about 10 days. Now that's down to 5 days, and we can see across our leading clients on the platform, it's heading down towards same day approvals. That's an incredible result for property owners. It's also a fantastic experience for renters coming through your business to know that they can submit an application and get a yes or a quick no, within a business day or two. Imagine the future. If you like it, lease it, potentially the opportunity for instant transactions or near real time. I want to take a moment to talk about integrations. It's such a fantastic part of the Snug story, which is as we've streamlined the leasing journey using API technology, we're able to connect into our valued partners, Movinghub and Console Cloud. And what that does is it facilitates a paperless, all digital flow from lead to leased, and straight into the opportunity of referrals and the property management processes. The benefit of integration is it reduces data entry, it saves time, it reduces human error, and it's secure and it's real time. So key aspect, we integrate with Console Cloud, and one of the key benefits is being able to take an approved applicant and seamlessly onboard them into your application's workflow. It means you can go straight into creating the tenancy agreement and the payment schedule. So digital. I'd like to now future predictions, future innovations, and I want to talk about maximizing prospecting. So within the Snug platform, you have the ability to not only systemize your rental applications, but that full leasing journey, and it saves an incredible amount of time. You can also reduce your software costs significantly to create value for your business. So both dialing up the prospecting, saving time, and reducing costs. So it's a fantastic opportunity to get a 3-point benefit for your team. I wanted to move to value the transaction. When you think the leasing journey, amount, there's the start date and the term, and yes, there's if we're looking at the profitability of a rental and over its management life cycle, Yeah, there's time invested up front related to the onboarding of a new management, the advertising, securing a tenant. Once we settle in, there's also opportunities of all of the ancillary services and the utility connections that come from a new tenant that flows through the leasing journey. So I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce Chris from Movinghub, and he can talk more about value creation and the customer journey.
Thanks,
Handing over
Justin.
to you, Chris.
Thank you. Good presentation. Just to touch base on Movinghub, my name's Chris Bondon, Head of Sales for the Movinghub Group. Bit of background about Movinghub. We're across 4 countries: Australia, New Zealand, US, and UK. And I want to walk you through what it means for your tenants to have a seamless customer journey. On the next slide, Justin, if you wouldn't mind, thank you. When a customer comes through a Console Cloud, the best bit about an integrated solution is you never have to leave Console Cloud to refer your customers for utility connections. That was one of the points that Justin made within that flow and that process that your tenant has to go through. And the whole process behind it when it comes to data security is you don't need to leave your platform, print out forms, send them through email and go through that process. Data is securely passed through via an API from Console Cloud to Movinghub. And what that does for you as a property manager or an owner of a real estate agency is that triggers automation from within the Movinghub platform. That automation can include what customer receives in terms of emails and SMS. You as a business owner can create custom content and the language that you decide you want your customer to receive as a tenant. You can even have your logo branded and even have the email sent through from our system, from your email domain. So we're trying to make this whole process interconnected from within Console Cloud into Movinghub's platform, but effectively making you the hero. The next process there is about giving your customer, the tenant, the ability to choose their pathway. A lot of tenants may decide to transact digitally. Justin mentioned about we all live on our mobile devices these days. So giving your client the ability to go through a digital pathway to connect utilities and other services is pretty much what we all want these days, and be able to transact at any time of the day or weekend. The other option is a client can also opt in for a phone call. That phone call can also be white labeled, again, with your own content in terms of the conversation that we open up with. All along the whole trail with regards to your tenant journey is we provide full transparency over every single state of the process. That includes advising the customer of what happens next. They can track their move through a unique link, again, all white labeled to your office. And you, the business owner or the property manager, knows exactly what's going on with their customer. We send the emails, and the benefit here with Console Cloud's integration is you'll also be able to track your customer's journey through a customer log, including the application numbers and the services that your customer took up. That's very powerful because you never have to leave Console Cloud to know what happens to your tenant, what services they took up, including real-time status updates. And of course, the Movinghub support team are also available to help you and your customers' needs at any stage. Moving on to the next slide is a lot of our competitors in the traditional utility connection space is all about connecting power and gas. So how is Movinghub different? Well, we're a tech company. We are a global business that is helping businesses like yours take your customers' process to the next level. We connect you to your tenant and allow you to help your customer and put your brand up in front of your customer beyond the move. That's very powerful because what that does is it keeps putting your brand up using advanced features and solutions which are built over the years to ensure that your brand stays top of mind and front of mind for your tenant. Now, an example of that about how to make your customers move memorable and beyond is to ensure that your customer is given unique content that's timely. We've just launched the Movinghub shop. And what that shop does allows you to call your customer and offer additional content such as, Mr. Customer, 2 days after you moved, if you need any furniture or you need a new kettle, please feel free to click this link and take them to the Movinghub shop. We know that having tools that allows you to put your brand up in front of your customer after the move is important. In 6 months' time, you might send a happy anniversary message to your customer, and that brings them back to your brand, because we want them to know who you are and not forget you. The console cloud integration with Movinghub is interconnected. It's pretty simple to set up. It's a click of a button to activate your account. And what that does is it allows you on the next screen, Justin, to go through a process around how to refer your customers. On the screenshot on the next slide, we allow you to proactively opt in your customer. What that does is it allows you to have a conversation with your tenant about what happens next. This consent is very important because it comes through Console Cloud and effectively the communication flow begins. Whether it's a phone call, an SMS or an email, the whole journey begins from that point onwards. And you never have to leave Console Cloud to know exactly what's going on with your tenant. Once it's been referred, as I mentioned earlier, the full process, the transparency over every single step of the process about what happens to your tenant remains in Console Cloud, and you can see that at any stage. Now, you've all been waiting for this exclusive offer. So what is it and how does it work? Movinghub has partnered up with Snug via Console Cloud to offer your business the ability to take up the Snug product, which Justin has spoken through, and the benefits of Snug. And through this partnership, Movinghub, as a supporter here and sponsor, will pay for your Snug subscription. Now, there are some certain terms and conditions that are available on the landing page that you're registered on to register your interest. That also includes the terms and conditions that make up this offer to make it a valid offer. If there's any questions, please feel free to reach out to myself at Movinghub or any of our team in the background. Justin, if there's anything further you want to add regarding the product that's been sponsored, I'm happy for you to take over and talk through that.
Thanks, Chris, for closing out the presentation. Thanks, everyone who have joined the webinar today and those that watch it online. We hope to see you online. And thanks to Console Cloud, Movinghub, and Snug. Have a great day.